New York, go. So what's going on, guys? Salute, salute, salute. How you guys doing tonight? Let's get it, let's get it. Welcome to another one. I am Juby the Tubi. You're here with family above everything you already know. And the Knicks came away with a victory tonight. First victory, and it feels like forever. They actually took the lead. They actually had a lead for the first time in a week, ladies and gentlemen. So crazy, crazy stuff. The Knicks won tonight. That you could tell they were going to dominate. I mean, they should have beat the Kings, but it's just a good feeling for them to actually win a game. They win 116-96. Only allow Sacramento 18 points in the second quarter, which was phenomenal defense. Randle had a decent game. Evan Fournier in that second quarter, the man was looking like he was going to score 45 points tonight, but only finished 18. That first quarter, he started off 6 for 6, was not able to miss. Incredible. Alex Burke, Obi Toppin, phenomenal game. We had a Cam Reddish sighting tonight, which is always a treat for us. And, it's just a great feeling. We finally won a game, guys. That's all I can say. And Quentin Grimes reminds me of John Starks. Not the way he plays, but the heart, the defensive tenacity. Maybe not as good as a three-point shooter as he was, or maybe not as animated, but definitely the heart is there. I love the explosiveness, but I'll get right to that right now. Let's bring Zen Ray from Zen Ray Sports TV and see what his take is on tonight's game.
7. The Knicks have some decisions obviously to make. And by having Evan Fournier there, having the game he had 16 and a half.
Yes, sir.
Hey, Juby the Tubi. I was just talking about Evan Fournier. Welcome, Juby the Tubi. Evan Fournier had 16 points at half. He cooled down. He only had 18. But the man off the bench, Juby's favorite, Mr. Burks, came up with 21 points, the high man of the game. And Julius Randle had 17. Evan Fournier had 18. Barrett had a so-so game with 11. But what I liked about the starting unit is that everybody was pluses except Walker. Walker didn't play a lot, obviously. He only played 17 minutes. But the spark was Grimes and Topping off that bench, obviously with Burks as well. The Knicks bench and starting rotation came together tonight. And these are the kinds of games you need to see, but you need to see it on a consistent basis. Welcome, Juby.
How's it going, guys? Listen, it's a good feeling for us to actually finally win a game. Win a game and have a lead the first time in a week. That's a stat for you to think about. That's how long it actually was. And we actually got a treat tonight. We even had a Cam Reddish sighting, ladies and gentlemen. So I was looking at the stars to see if any asteroids were falling from the skies. It was crazy. And everybody played phenomenal. RJ Barrett had a horrible first half. Didn't really do too much. Julius Randle played his old Julius Randle's self. I'm not going to really get into him. And Evan Fournier started off hot, man. The guy was 6 for 6 when he first started. I thought he was gonna be on his way to score 50 tonight. I thought he was still seeing the Boston Celtics at the Garden at one point, the way he was looking. But Alex Burke, I love that he did what he did tonight. You know why, ladies and gentlemen? Not because, like my partner said, that I'm an Alex Burke fan. He just rose his stock to Sacramento. And maybe Sacramento is saying, we like Alex Burke. He's another scorer. What I didn't like, even though I root for him every night, is the moves that Obi Toppin was putting on tonight. I was just like, Obi, what are you doing? Don't show your skills to Sacramento. I don't want them to be like, you know what? You want Fox? Give us Obi.
Obi, you heard it here first. It's my speculation. And we spoke about that before the game, why I was in Fox playing tonight. And I don't think he's in a bad ankle injury. He probably could have played. I think this is only speculation on my side. Nobody I know. I'm throwing my hat in the wind here. There's a trade that's already probably been done already. Okay. And Randall's involved and Fox is involved. So before they give any damaged goods to the Knicks, they want this trade to go through. The reason the trade is not happening now Two reasons, or one main reason. When they signed Julius Randle on that contract recently, there are stipulations in the contract that he cannot be traded by a certain date, and that certain date is February 4th, which is coming up in about 4 days. So between February 4th and the 10th, I expect a trade to be happening between the Kings and the Knicks, Fox and Randle, and some other players involved to even up the contracts. But at least I have a feeling that Fox will be coming here. That's my guess, my speculation. Guys out there, you can put it in the chat if you think I'm a little loony bin or crazy.
No, I don't think you're nuts at all, my friend. There's a lot of rumors going around, and I'm gonna touch on that very briefly. I mean, we're not gonna do a whole rumor thing tonight, but very briefly, I'm gonna tell you guys. Besides the Darren Fox for Julius Randle, and possibly Kemba Walker just to make the contracts work. I've also been hearing if that deal doesn't go through, that they might be just interested in Julius Randle for I told you earlier, and I hope this doesn't happen, for Matt Barnes and some draft picks for Julius. That's not something I want to touch up on.
I'll tell you why. They're loaded at the point guard situation. You saw the way Halliburton played tonight, okay? And they got Mitchell, the other backup point guard.
Oh, that guy's
played well tonight. Okay, two rookies we got there, and they're on rookie contracts.
Yeah.
Okay, De'Aaron Fox, you know how much money you'd be saving by getting rid of him? So you bring back a contract that's a very suitable contract for a star player in their eyes. Julius Randle's a star player who'll go to the West, and he will duplicate those numbers he had last year because he's in a no-pressure zone to produce for that team. So I think it's a win-win situation for both teams. You slot Obi onto the starting rotation. The backup, you get that kid, Manovich, to back up that power forward situation, or whoever you bring in, because you will need a backup. We don't have a backup as of yet. So there'll be more trades along the way. That's my speculation. I could be totally off the cliff on this.
I also heard that Spencer Dinwiddie wants out. They want to spend. I don't know. I was going to ask you real quick. What do you think about Spencer Dinwiddie? Washington wants him out. They don't want him there anymore. He's having a big problem with the organization, with his teammates. He's producing numbers. We wanted him before the season started, but he got a big contract. But they're about to release him, from what I'm hearing.
If they release him, that's something different. We can pick him, put him as a backup for Fox and having Rose there as well. The more point guards you have, the better. But guys, let me just tell you other things. We'll get back to that. Yeah, but let's talk about the rookies we have on the bench. I mean, we're not going to call Obi Toppin a rookie, but I mean, he feels so comfortable out there in his own skin. He plays, he runs around, he hustles, he has lightning speed up and down.
He's having a good time.
Oh, he's just enjoying himself out there. And then Grimes coming in. I'm calling this. Grimes will be in the starting rotation sometime next year. You're going to see him getting a lot of time. This kid is the kid who's going to replace Fournier at that shooting guard position. What a defender. Everything he puts his hands in, he gets a deflection. He's around the ball. His nose is on the ball. I'm just so very impressed by his work ethic. And he has become Thibodeau's go-to guy off the bench with Quickly. Because once I'm going to tell you the three players I'm think is going to be leaving here to make room for Cam. I like what I saw from Cam Reddish coming off the bench. This is the young youth athletic kids you kind of need. And Thibodeau has to get through his head that it's time to play these young kids. I know I'm a veteran type of guy. I have to change my ways. You develop these kids in the next 1 or 2 years with your system and your know-how, Juby. This will be a young, rising team in the next couple of years, Juby.
Yeah, I agree. Listen, Quentin Grimes is giving me impressions. I told you earlier, I wanted to clarify what I meant. I told my partner here that Quentin Grimes reminds me of upgrade evolve version of John Starks. And I don't mean his game style. I just mean the heart, the way he plays defense. I don't know if you guys. John Starks was a tight defender, up in your nose. Wasn't as great as Quentin Grimes, but he had that same energy. I think John Starks was a little bit better of a shooter than he was, in my opinion. But I just love what I see from this kid. And he's definitely 100% going to be the starter on this team. And I honestly see it, Zenray, if the Knicks make these trades before the trading deadline, I wouldn't be surprised if we see Quentin Grimes being in the starting rotation. I would not be surprised.
Yeah, I think they'll start Fournier.
No. If Fournier is not, these are my three guys. These are my three guys. 85%. I think they're gone. I think Quentin Grimes. Ooh, Alex Burke, Evan Fournier, and Kemba Walker. 80% they're gone for me by February 10th. Julius Randle is a 50-50, like we spoke about. He's, we don't know what's going to happen yet.
Yeah, I think it's 50-50, right? I agree.
So if Evan Fournier is not here anymore, you better believe it, Quentin Grimes is starting. I don't see Cam Reddish going in here, even though Cam Reddish might be the long-term goal eventually to play with RJ. I see Quentin Grimes stepping into that shooting guard or small forward, and then RJ either taking one of those two positions or along with the new acquisitions that we're gonna get.
Bench.
I don't know. I don't know about that guy. Oh, and I'm gonna say this only because
Cam Reddish coming off the bench.
No, not Cam Reddish. The one on the backup power forward. I think they will make a move for another forward, veteran, before they bring up that guy from the G League. Unfortunately, that's just because Tom Thibodeau the way he is.
No, but I'm talking Cam Reddish. You would say after Quentin Grimes starts, he'll be the replacement of Quentin Grimes coming off the bench.
Oh yeah. He'll be like. No, I think Cam Reddish will come off the bench. He will play with Emmanuel Quickly. Hopefully, he's still here. Derrick Rose, Cam Reddish. And if Randall's here, he'll play with Obi Toppin. If he's not here, then maybe Obi Toppin will start, and then we get some other talent in here. Don't forget, we still got a lot of players. We still got a lot of young guys that still do what they do. We still got Nerlens Noel in there. Mitchell Robinson is just impressing, man. I know his stat numbers, guys, didn't bust out of the stat sheet tonight. But just me watching him, what a difference of a player. I see him more offensively aggressive than I've seen him in his whole entire Knicks career, honestly. Since he's been here, I've never seen Mitchell Robinson as aggressive as he has been. And if he stays healthy, man, I'm all for signing this guy, man. That's our center.
Yeah, I think he will be signed. This whole Knick. Let's start with Julius Randle. You really can't say nothing bad about Julius Randle. Look, he played a modest game tonight. He had 4 turnovers. He had 4 assists. He had 9 rebounds. You can see in his body language, he sees the writing on the wall. That's me, because he didn't even argue with the refs today. Did you notice that? He just was having conversations. I think he knows what's happening. I think the Knicks organization probably told him the deal is done. I doubt it, but I'm saying you can see it was I don't know if you noticed it. Julius Randle was calm as the wind.
He's an autopilot. I said this on the last show.
No. I'm talking about in a positive way. Tonight,
yeah,
he was kind of calm as the wind, positive, didn't argue with nobody, didn't get crazy. He played his 20. He was even laughing with the Knicks on the bench, even with Deuce McBride poking some fun at him after the game, like, hey, whatever. It was surprising to see. I think he sees the writing on the wall. Barrett is the man they're gonna have, the go-to guy with the ball. But you're gonna have so much talent around these young kids that anybody could be the go-to guy. It's just not one guy, If it's Obi's night, it's Obi's night. If it's Barrett's night, it's Barrett's night. If everybody collectively does their thing, like you said, if you insert a Quentin Grimes into that starting rotation, you have a De'Aaron Fox bringing up the ball. This Knicks team can be dangerous. They'll probably sneak into the playoffs this year. And for the future, you have a promising Knicks team. And Thibodeau understand that he's grooming his future young Bucks to future stardom in the next few years and to progress in the playoffs and chase for that championship.
And I think that's all that Knicks fans want. Knicks fans, listen, all Knicks fans are realistic. We don't want a championship. We know that we want a championship now, but we know we're not going to get a championship right now. We know that it's a process, and we got to plug in better pieces. But just the fact that we're competing, we're making steps in the right directions is all Knicks fans want. Ladies and gentlemen, me and my partner were going at it a little bit earlier today. I was busting his chops a little bit because I knew exactly what he was going to tell me about that I need to pay attention to Knicks management and read between the lines. And I'm sitting here laughing, and I'm like, I'm going to bust his chops a little bit. I'm going to send him a message. So I was sending him memes and everything. And I told him, listen, an onion is an onion. It doesn't matter how you cook it. And right now, there's some onions on this team. We can polish them. We can do whatever we want. But we gotta make some changes. It's gonna happen slowly but surely. But us Knicks fans, we want progress. We don't want to hear the team is still gelling 53 games into the season. I understand that might be that's what Tom Thibodeau is telling us, and that's what Knicks management is telling the media and reporters. They want us to believe that, but like my partner was saying to me, we have to read between the lines and understand that it's all politics. It's all about money. But like I said, us Knicks fans, we tend to see just black and gray. We want results. We want energy. We want wins. That's it.
I agree. We're going to find out in the next week to 10 days what's going to happen. I have a feeling there's going to be movement. I think the people you mentioned are going to be moved, and I have a strange feeling that Randle is one of them.
I think Julius is gone. I'll be honest with you. Like you said, body language. If he had a bad week and a half of basketball and then he was back to himself and laughing and energetic, then I would say that's behind him. Let's move forward. But even today, 2 weeks later, we're still talking about the same thing. He doesn't have no energy. He's prancing up the court still. So I just think he's checked out of this organization of himself.
I agree. So let's get back to Randle. Randle had an okay night tonight. 29 minutes of play, 17 points. Mitchell Robinson, what a warrior in 22 minutes of play, 13 rebounds, 2 block shots, 1 steal, 1 assist. He only had 1 turnover, a plus 13. Kemba Walker, if the Knicks don't trade him, he will be bought out. He will definitely they'll buy him out. They'll buy his $2 million contract. He won't be. If I can guarantee you anything, Kemba Walker, if they get De'Aaron Fox in here and Roses comes back, if they get De'Aaron Fox, Kemba Walker is nowhere to be played no more. Fournier's value, like you said, he just pumped his value up as well as Burks. So I can see getting some value back for these 2 players. I think they're gone. Barrett, he had a rough first half, 4 for 14 from the field, 1 from 8 from 3. He had 4 rebounds. He had 4 turnovers, but he was a plus 12. He had 11 points. It wasn't his night. Topping, plus 10, 14 points. He had 4 rebounds, 2 assists, 1 block shot, just 1 turnover. Cam Reddish in 5 minutes of play, 4 from 4 from the free throw line. He got his 4 points, 0 for 2 from the field. Taj Gibson, only 3 minutes of play, had 0 points. Nolan Snow, 21 minutes of play, had 2 points, a plus 14. Burks, plus 25 with 21 points, 4 assists, 5 rebounds. He had 2 turnovers. Quickly, 16 minutes, plus 18, 6 points. And the man who is our rookie of the year, Quentin Grimes, 23 minutes of play. He's 14 points, a plus 8, 3 steals. This guy's a dynamic defender, knows how to read plays before they happen. He's in the right place, right time, every time. Only had 1 turnover, had 4 rebounds, 2 from 2 from the free throw line, 5 from 9 from the field, 2 from 5 to 3-point range. This is a rising future star coming. And like I mentioned to you in the text, I see him being bigger than Quickly in the next few years. Grimes is a hell of a player. We drafted well when we picked Grimes.
Yeah, we lucked out. Listen, we've been drafting very well the last few years. I'm not even going to, with the exception of that, I hope that Halliburton is not Stephen Curry 2.0 or Donovan Mitchell 2.0.
But it kind of worked out. It all kind of worked out. It comes back in a full circle. You're going to get Fox out of this because Obi. Listen, I think you're gonna get Fox out of this. They don't want to pay Fox a guy who they don't want to start. They have Halliburton, this guy. Believe me, this trade is gonna happen. They're missing a power forward. This team is gonna be good. The only high contract they're gonna have is him and the other guy they want to trade to the Knicks. They want to get rid of. Maybe they get both of them, and you throw him another player, and he's our backup power forward.
Oh, you mean Matt Barnes? Matt Barnes he only has one more year left on his deal, so maybe you do. Maybe you do.
And have Obi still coming off the bench.
Maybe you throw in Alex Burke with Julius Randle, and for him and Fox, and maybe Kemba can't go in there because they got too many point guards.
Yeah, but Kemba's not. Kemba's gone. Kemba's gonna be, if nobody wants him, Kemba is gonna be paid off, and he's gonna sign up with a playoff team that needs a shooting.
I hope he becomes the Ron Baker of New York, man. I don't want him to go. I want him to be the crash dummy of the team and just kind of stay there and be a role model for the young guys, and that's it.
Yeah, I totally agree. Look, are we gonna get to the score? The thing. The Knicks shot 50% from the field. That always helps. They shot 37 from the 3-point range. Sacramento Kings only shot 43 from the field and 28 from the three. Free throws. I thought we were probably one of the worst, but Sacramento only shot 50%. We shot almost 80% from and they still could improve. It was 23 from 29. But I'll take that 79.3. I'll take that anytime. And we beat them on the rebounds 39-27. Assist wise, we beat them 25-24. We had 12 steals. They had 6. We evened up on the blocks, 5 apiece. We had 17 turnovers. They had 16. They had 22 off those turnovers, the Kings, and we had 18 off their turnovers. Fast break points, the Knicks had 14. They had 8 points in the paint. We beat them 42-40. Fouls, the Knicks had the largest lead, was almost 30 at 29 points. The largest lead for the Kings, because the beginning of the game was 3 points. The Knicks dominated almost every facet of the game. They played good defense.
Only allowed them 18 points in the second quarter, I believe, right?
Oh, yeah, 18 points, which was impressive. Even the first quarter, allowing them 23 points and 18. The Knicks score 30 points in each quarter, except the second quarter, which they only got 23. Much better production. I think Julius Randle, hate to say, he behaved himself very well. I was watching him closely tonight. He was different in a positive way. Like, he kept his mouth shut. He played the game. He didn't argue. He could have argued on a couple of things. He didn't. He stayed away from it. He hustled a bit. Look, I see the writing on the wall for him. The Knicks beat the Kings 116-96. The Knicks record is 24-27. The Kings 18-34. I can see the Kings being one of the lottery teams coming up this year, definitely. I don't know what else you wanted to say, Juby, but that's my prediction. What's going to happen between now and the trading deadline. Deadline.
I agree with you 100%. Our next game is Wednesday against the Memphis Grizzlies, which will put us in a date of the 2nd, if I'm not mistaken. I hope I'm right with my math right now. It's a little bit late.
Yeah.
So basically, we'll know something by next week for sure, but possibly by Friday is the 4th. So I wouldn't say Friday. I would say by Monday, ladies and gentlemen. Monday, things are gonna heat up.
The 8th. I would say the 8th things will heat up. We'll make some kind of trade. I think the 3 players you mentioned, Fournier, Kemba, and Burks, they're definitely goners. They'll make some deal with them, and we get some supplement players there. Or maybe we may add a player and Randle in that trade. Maybe we can get Barnes to get his contract out of the way for them, and get Fox, and that'll be. I don't want to get ahead of myself, but I think that's something that's going to help the Knicks in the future. I think the Knicks can still make a run. I think once you get that weight off getting a bad apple off a team who's not being a positive influence on the team, that can start making things better. I want to see Cam Reddish play more, and I hope these trades that happen in the next week to 10 days makes these players like Cam and Quentin Grimes have more playing time, So Juby, I don't know what else you want to say tonight. The Knicks win tonight, 116-96 at the Garden, breaking a 3-game losing streak, and the Kings increased their losing streak to 7.
I'm all good, man. Like I said, Darren Fox, if it happens, Tom Thibodeau gets Derrick Rose revision. Not as athletic, but I know Tom Thibodeau would love that because he's a driving point guard who likes to drive the ball in and push the pace, and that's why he loves Derrick Rose. So can you imagine a Darren Fox, Derrick Rose, your backup, Deuce in the wing if you need him to be? That's it's a beautiful thing. So hopefully the sky's the limit, and the sky, got orange and blue skies coming up in the next 10 days. And if not, it's a work in progress. And there's always the future, like you like to say.
Yeah, Juby, look, let's be enlightened by this grand universe that we're in, knowing that the best is yet to come. With love, peace, and gratitude. Zen Ray out. Juby, thank you for joining us this evening after this game. We'll be on Wednesday on the post-game show on Wednesday against
Memphis Grizzlies.
And that should be another win for us at
Hopefully.
Memphis.
We'll see. We'll see.
Great, Juby. We'll talk then. Have a good night.
Brother. Good night, brother. Go New York. Go New York. Go. Good night, guys.
Good night. Good night.
All right, guys. That was Zen Ray with Zen Ray Sports TV. Listen, Darren Fox to New York, Matt Bonds to New York, package deal for Julius Randle, Evan Fournier, Alex Burke, Kemba Walker, draft picks. Leon, make it happen. Bring me Fox. As much as I hate to see Julius go because he started a foundation here, maybe it's time for a new. Get on board with a new train, get this team energized again, and make a final push for the play-in or the playoffs. But if not, it's okay. We understand it's a work in progress, and there's always tomorrow. But enjoy the rest of your evening. Be safe. As my partner said, we'll be back on Wednesday after the Memphis Grizzlies games. And as always, family above everything. Peace, guys. Good night.
We are the New York Knicks. We are the New York Knicks.